Welcome, boys. This video is either going to be how to vacuum down your AC system in your 93 Corvette and then recharge with refrigerant, or it's going to be how to test for leaks, and hopefully that's not the video we're making. So, part one, we already replaced the AC compressor. Boom, there it is. Manifold's tightened down. And what we are going to do is pull a vacuum on the system. Since this is not a 134A, I can't just use the quick disconnect, which would be awesome. I had to get a different kind of gauge set that was supposed to fit this R12. So, I'll take the blue. This end's going to go in here. And then this end is going to thread onto that low side. And then for our yellow, I already have it on the vacuum pump, the side of this Harbor Freight vacuum pump that I paid like $100 and some odd for, and then that other end is going to go here. So first things first, this valve is closed, and I have Teflon tape, so if it's going to leak, it's going to be from somewhere in the system and not a false reading somewhere here. Theoretically, assuming that everything's up to snuff. This was a cheap Chinese gauge set though, but I needed something that would work with the R12. Okay, and with the valve closed, first I hooked up here, then there. I had already hooked up that end to the pump, and that is there. So now we are going to turn on the pump, and then I will be able to open this valve. Since just threading that into a 134, or I mean an R12 fitting kind of pushes on the Schrader valve, I guess. So hopefully we don't have any leaks. We'll find out. Okay, so there we go. Once we open this, this should go to about negative 30-ish. Alright, well, we're about there. We can see that we do get a little bit of smoky smoke action. And that, I believe, is going to be any sort of moisture boiling off. It's been a minute since I went through my HVAC classes, but I believe that as you run the vacuum on the water through this pump, essentially it boils off the moisture. So we shall see. We will come back at negative 30. I didn't check the time, but I'll come back after a little while, turn it off, and then we'll see what happens if I turn it off and then it holds the vacuum. Great, I can recharge it. If not, well, this video is going to be a different kind of video. Okay, boys, I've shut the pump off and let it sit for about 15 minutes, and we already have a drop in vacuum, which means we have a leak somewhere in the system. Sad face. Alright, next mission objective is to get some UV dye leak detection, put it in the system, and see where the leak's coming from. And then replace that component. Hopefully, it's one of these outside things, like the Schrader valve on the high side, in which I'll just replace the whole high side fitting, the whole high side line, with a quick disconnect, like the R134A style. Or maybe we'll get lucky and it's the Schrader valve. Well, I feel like if it was the Schrader valve here, that wouldn't really matter because we're tied in here. So that wouldn't really matter, I wouldn't think. So, possibly high side, possibly the condenser, hopefully not the evaporator, or perhaps the manifold gasket, or perhaps where the fittings are secured to the manifold. We shall see. We'll see where the leak is. So it'll be a couple seconds for you and probably several days for me. Alright, you're probably not going to be able to hear much because I got this crap going on and the engine's running. But I have the AC on. As you can see, the compressor's engaged. So, you can actually see condensation forming there on the dryer. So, because we're not going to waste our good R12, since we know we have a leak, we're going to utilize this this system here. We may or may not use the stop leak. Depends on where the leak's coming from. If it's in that thing, the evaporator, well, then we're using it. But somewhere along one of these O-rings and fittings I can easily replace, then that's what I'll do. I'll just replace it. But for now, I have 4 ounces of dye, 8 ounces of fake R12 in there. And so with only 12 ounces of stuff, 8 of it being confirmed refrigerant, outside is like damn near 100 degrees as usual. And this is what the temperature is coming out of the vent with just 8 ounces of fake R12 and 4 ounces of dye in the system. So this is actually tolerable since it's down to like 70 degrees on a damn near 100 degree day. So, alright, the dye's in there. We'll use the UV light and the glasses later to see where that leak is and then fix it. So, we'll be back. Okay, we're back in the dark, and it's 2 days later. I've already checked the previous night, and so I figured out where the leak is, but I'm going to see if it'll pick up on the camera without me having to wear those yellow goggles. But here's the UV light, and so when I shined it around everywhere in here, we got nothing. The high side isn't leaking, low side isn't leaking. Now these fittings going into the condenser over here are leaking. But if we do the low side where we put it in, okay, so it doesn't actually show it. I'll probably have to put you guys on a thing. But what I was going to demonstrate is the low side isn't actually leaking, but that's where we put in the stuff. So what will actually happen is you can get an idea what it looks like, because you know you put it in on the low side, so when you check that, it'll be glowing like the Predator's blood. But in the case of this, I don't think you can actually see it, because I've tried to put the yellow glasses in front of the camera lens. It doesn't show it. So this camera can't pick it up, and I can't see it with my naked eyes. I have to wear these yellow goggles. But when I have them on, I can clearly see where the leak is, and it's coming from the condenser here in this bottom right-hand corner. If you're facing the car. If I'm facing the car, it's the bottom right-hand corner here, closest to the ground. So you can't see it. But if you kind of sort of look, I feel like you can see all this grease. It looks real greasy and oily here. Let me see if I can show you with the natural light. See how greasy and oily it is there? So that's what this looks like with your naked eye. But if I have this UV light on, it's actually glowing yellow down here. Looks just like the Predator's blood. If you've ever seen the movie The Predator and how he bleeds and how it's looks kind of like glow stick, glowy green, that's what this actually looks like. You have the glasses on, so that's where it's leaking from. So I have already ordered a new condenser. So I suspect what happened was either when that uninsured Bravo Foxtrot crashed into me that one time, it shifted my front end enough that caused the damage then, or most likely, I mean, that could be what happened, or alternatively, the body shop who did the repairs bumped into that, or with a piece of my front end here when they had to replace my hood and my front clip. They had hit that and damaged it, or moved it and damaged it, or something like that. So I assume that's probably what happened. But now I know. So every place else in the AC system is sealed up tight. I went over it with a fine-tooth comb with the glasses, the goggles, and the UV light. So the compressor's sealed up good. The lines, high side and low side going from it down there, and the hoses are good. The hoses, high side and low side are good. Dryer's good. Going into the evaporator is good. And most of the condenser is good, with the exception of that corner. So that's going to be it for this video. So originally this was going to be a recharge after the compressor replacement video, but this is essentially going to be now how to find leaks in your AC system. Next video will be how to replace the AC condenser. Then we will do the final video of how to recharge your R12 system. So okay, hope this helped. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, boys. Peace.